Hi there, welcome back to Watch Your Realms. We're doing a review of the latest, newest hero added into game, available to summon Thursday. Good luck if you do pull her. Known as Twyla, a fighter, normal attack, the red smile, a part of the Nightmare faction, which is really good. The only downfall is, as for the Lords, lacking quite a bit, right? But maybe with time we'll get some new ones. We got Ref at the moment, just like my name, Warlike Ref or Ref Like Gaming. And then you got Torador. I don't have him just yet. I'd probably benefit if I did, but, you know, that's not coming around soon. So no reviews at this moment in time down below, but we can take a look at her story briefly. Insane? No, she's perfect, says Hex. So are they like a couple of some sort? Looks like they're from the circus, which is pretty obvious, right? This says, "Oh dear audience, gather around and let me regale you a tale of madness and unbridled chaos. A tale of Hex, the mad diviner, and his equally deranged consort Twyla, the red smile. Poor soul began a journey in a dark corners of misery. Father, cruel, merciless man, beat her black and blue, starved her for mere scraps." Quite a catching story there. And if you want to read it, you can. You can slow the video down, pause it if you want. But, you know, quite some effort has been put in by, you know, the team at Watcher of Realms when it comes to a backstory, learning about the characters and where they come from and who they link with and who they connect with time and their own story within. Now, if we go to the A1 Awakening, jumping ahead just to get an idea, you're probably not going to be pulling a second copy of her immediately, but if by some chance you did, because you did a lot of summons, or even as a heads up in the future, what do you get out of it as for the A1? Because normally that tends to be the big one. Enhanced. After triggering the ultimate 4 times, increases every single instance of deranged blade damage to 30%. 30% increase, that's pretty good. Attack 300. Ultimate duration 5+ seconds, that's great to see. Penetration 8%, that's a nice little addition. And finally, upon taking fatal damage for the first time, becomes immune to death for 6 seconds and increases damage by 100%. That's really good to see. I mean, we saw it with Hex on the first fatal strike. Hex can become immune or invisible for a short period of time. But as for Twyla, she's also doing 100% more damage, so kind of like a clutch situation where it can come in handy. Now, we come back to her. We do have the video showcase, which maybe we can play. I'm going to play it now. About the sound, I did turn the sound down, so you might not hear it clearly. But nevertheless, if we play the video now, there we go. And we've got the little cinematic there, wandering through like a desert landscape. There's a pumpkin then, transports into like a hallway. This is somewhat similar, at least the start, to Hex. Wow. So really good Halloween theme orientated, great timing of course. It's a bit of a sudden change, that animation. We'll just play it one more time. You know, the first part makes sense, wandering like a desert wasteland, kind of like Hex, if you remember that animation. And then teleporting into some kind of castle. And that saw blade. Nice colourful visuals, not going to lie. Kind of like a Harley Quinn in a way. I guess that's what it's kind of like based off. Twyla is Harley Quinn and Hex is the Joker, basically. You see the face paint. Like, come from a circus. Visually, we need to acknowledge that. Typical type circus pants or whatever you call them. Different coloured shoes, like heels, wearing like a dress, and kind of like a skirt as well. Good colour, tone, contrast as well. Try and zoom in a bit closer. Oh, maybe a bit too much. Like a tattoo artwork on a neck area. Hair colour, two-tone, which is great. Kind of like the Joker-esque. A little bit of lipstick which goes off to the side of her face to create like a smile. Almost like a scar near the mouth. That's a good reference. And then you got that like symbol on her eye, on her right eye, on our left side. She's got her gloves on, and those balls on the back. But the main thing that really stands out personally is this like saw blade. Now, it's kind of hard to turn around, but I don't know if you can see the face. Is that like Hex's face or just like a Joker face from the looks of it? Joker, wild card. The blade spins about, blood all over. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That's really creative, that. I wonder what the animations look like. So, let's see with the stats. Hero details at max level. 28,000 HP. Okay. 6,376 base attack. Plus 50 from, I think, the Hyperion Dragon bonus thing. But 6,300 base attack is really good. That is really good to see. 150% crit damage. Yeah. Rage regen 10. Okay. Fine. And as for the cost, 17. Reasonable. And it gets better when you look at the bond skill. This is a multi-strike attack, burst damage, damage escalating. Great to see. Wielding her deranged blade, Twyla orchestrates a symphony of carnage. Chosen victims, marked demise, are drained to the last drop as a chilling laughter echoes through the night. As for a talent, each basic attack launched has a 25% chance to trigger deranged blade. The trigger chance of deranged blade is increased by 5% each time the ultimate is cast, up to 15%. And that's with basic attack. 25% chance at first, 25 plus 15. That's the chance you're going to get for the deranged blade just for your basic attack. So if your basic attack and your attack speed is very high, 3, 4, 500, you're going to be triggering the deranged blade probably more often. And we'll see what that's really about in a second. The good thing with Twyla, she's got a bit... Well, no, she hasn't got extended rage, not really. It's basic. Deals 1% damage. Pardon me. Sympathy of Ruin, passive. After not dealing damage for 2 seconds, increases rage regen auto by 10. This effect is removed upon dealing damage. Right. Okay, for 2 seconds only, rage regen. When does it happen again after not dealing damage for 2 seconds? Is it every 2 seconds? Is it every so often? Is it a one-time thing? It doesn't quite say. But I'm sure it happens more than once somehow. Bloody Reprisal, passive, another one. Each time the ultimate is triggered, grants an extra 6% defense penetration during the next ultimate, stacking up to 80% defense penetration. Wow. So I guess what that basically means is you're dealing with a target, a boss, an elite unit, and they've got high defense. Well, Twyla can pierce through a certain percentage of that defense. 80%, that's close to 100. That is crazy. Ultimate penetration, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 84% in total. Twyla, this passive arguably is better than who is he now? I forgot his name, the archer one. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Extra 6% defense penetration during the next ultimate, and it stacks. You got to take in mind, it's each time the ultimate is triggered. How many times can you activate that ultimate then to get to 80% defense? You probably have to go for like a longer period of a mode, so like a boss battle or Titanic Ruins where there's stages, right? Maybe a Mortal Codex as well. But yeah, 80% defense penetration, 84 max, and yet you got Silas who does about 50% defense penetration or something like that. So yeah, Twyla a lot better here. And then as for the Bond, the Mad Devotee, obtain Hex if you do have him. The following bonus effect reduces Twyla's first deployment cost by 6. Each time Hex draws a card, Twyla permanently increases crit damage by 5% up to 60% crit damage. So, ideally, if you're going to use Twyla in Arena, you use Hex first, possibly. Either way, as for Hex, his cost is reduced by 4 or so if Twyla has been deployed. So you can deploy units in quicker, especially for the Arena. If you do use Siren, or if you don't have her, or you don't want to use her, you got alternative cost effectiveness to be able to deploy certain units, a part of the same faction, which is obviously very good. This is the Nightmare faction, in case you're wondering. Leaders, you got Toreador or Wrath at this moment. It would obviously be nice to get a new Nightmare leader, legendary. Maybe that comes with time. But Twyla's passive bond skill is much greater because it's the fact that it permanently increases crit damage up to 60%. So if you think about clan boss and you've got certain gear on her, which could be the times percentage attack, the 3-piece gear set, or the other one where it increases the ultimate damage and it stacks over time the more times you use the ultimate, just like the more times you use the ultimate here. Is it that one there? The Rage, not that one. This one, yeah, stacking up to 80%. So really, there's a lot of stacking you can do with Twyla, which is obviously really good. And if you didn't know what Deranged Blade was, we see it here. It's actually the ultimate. Now, without upgraded, the ultimate is only 700 cost. Now, you can reduce it down to 600, which is brilliant. Now, damage increases, you can get up by an extra 20%. So when activated, increases damage by 30% and reduces attack interval by 20%. So you can get more damage in, more attacks quicker, which is a positive. Which is granting Deranged Blade an extra 6 instances of damage lasting for 15 seconds, deals 200% damage 2 times to one enemy immediately. But the Deranged Blades deals 20% damage 12 times consecutively and inflicts bleed. Bleed is really great to see in the background there, but 20% damage 12 times. Deranged Blade, and the fact that each basic attack launched has a 25 plus 15% chance of triggering Deranged Blade here and there. Oh my god, that is crazy. The combinations, how you can, get the best out of her with certain gear sets and attack speed, and then as well enhanced by the attack interval by 20%, reducing it. There's a lot going on here. The cost effectiveness of deploying her with the bond skill, the cost effectiveness of using her manual ultimate. Yeah. And you can see like a little visual of where it looks visually, where she spins around. Not too bad. I would have liked to have seen maybe... Well, actually, no, I think I saw it just then where she slams it towards the enemy and then the blade spins about and you see the blood effect. So... yeah, no, that's really nice, that the way the blood just splurts out the back end. Yeah, I like that. Like a saw, ripper blade, reminds me from Dead Island when you create those custom crafted weapons. Wow. So, realistically, Twyla could be somewhat difficult to get, but the positive thing is she's got good stats, great base stats, good skills, unique, good bond skill, 15 times chance drop rate if you're lucky enough on the basic summons and the divine. And from the looks of it, she is not limited. She's not a part of the ancient summoning, meaning she's in the general summoning pool. So even if by some chance you didn't get her this time round, you've always got a chance next time and the time afterwards. Now, in terms of the drop rates to certain heroes, we'll see how it goes. And the reason why I say that is when it comes to Hex, whenever he appears in a summoning event, he's always really difficult to get a hold of. Times 15... I don't know if it's already happened with him exactly, but there was a times 15 drop rate of designated heroes and a times 2 chance of the summoning rates of certain rarities. Just a slippery character to get a hold of, always passes by. Now, I did get him, and that was on Unrelated Banner, so I got a bit lucky there. But as for Twyla, we'll see how that goes. But, good luck if you do get her. She's definitely worth summoning for, whether you've got Hex or not. It can work out really well, and if you do have the bond skill, even better, especially with how the damage can stack, the passives as well, boss battle scenarios, and even arena, one of those like multifunctional heroes. And visually, looks good, matches the part, the theme in general. You could definitely tell, how she links with Hex, the story. The rich story here, you don't even have to read it, you can just visually see and kind of interpret the situation. So we'll leave it there for now. hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts behind Twyla. Are you summoning for her? Are you excited for her to be released? And yeah, goodbye for now. My name's Will Raf. I'll see you next time.